Israel and its neighbors are a rich biblical archaeology ground. Hardly a month goes by without the excavation of some 2,000-year-old bit of human history, or history that may date back to Jesus' time. In 2019, archaeologists uncover new mosaics, altars, churches, and villages with ties to ancient Hebrew and biblical texts. They also found new secrets in texts themselves. In my last video, I discussed 10 of the most impossible biblical archaeology discoveries in recent time. That video will be linked in the card up here and in my description. Stay tuned for 7 of the most intriguing biblical archaeology discoveries recorded in 2019. Let's begin at number 7, an altar with a tale to tell. A stone altar discovered in Ataroth in Jordan is etched with tantalizing clues about a rebellion that took place more than 2,800 years ago. The rebellion is mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, which tells of an uprising by the kingdom of Moab against the kingdom of Israel. According to the biblical tale, Moab had to pay Israel tribute in the form of lambs and wool. Then the king of Moab, Mesha, grew frustrated with this arrangement and raised an army against the larger power. A stele or inscribed stone discovered in 1868 in Dibon, Jordan, records that Mesha successfully conquered Israeli-controlled city of Ataroth. The altar, first excavated in 2010, was analyzed, and its contents reported in the journal Levant in 2019. Its inscription, partly written in the Moab script, confirms that Mesha and his army did conquer Ataroth, mentioning the loot of bronze from the defeated city. Another portion of the inscription describes 4,000 foreign men scattered and abandoned in great number, and also mentions a desolate city. At number 6, Church of the Apostles discovered. A Byzantine-era church discovered in northern Israel may be a long-lost place of worship built above the home of the apostles Peter and Andrew. The structure was first discovered in 2019 near the Sea of Galilee. It dates back about 1,400 years and still holds the remnants of intricate mosaics and carved marble. The archaeologists who discovered this believe that the church may be on the site of the Jewish fishing village of Bethsaida, the town where Jesus Christ is said in the Bible to have fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fishes. If so, the church could be the legendary Church of the Apostles, which was built to honor 2 of Jesus' original disciples, one of whom, Peter, would become the first leader of the early Christian church. The claim, however, is disputed by other researchers who argue that they have been excavating Bethsaida at a nearby site called Ethel. Stay tuned for further excavations that might settle the debate. At number 5, Balak, a myth or legend. Remember that stele from Dibon in Jordan that told the tale of King Mesha defeating the Israelites at Ataroth? Well, that same stele was at the center of another biblical controversy in 2019. Does its inscriptions confirm the existence of Moab king named Balak? That is a question to answer. But then, Balak gets a mention in the Hebrew Bible's book of Numbers. But there hasn't been any known biblical confirmation that he existed. This year, researchers at Tel Aviv University in Israel tried to decipher some of the hard-to-read portions of the Mesha stele, which is broken and held at the Louvre in France, using a rubbing of the stele that was created before it was broken. They concluded that one fragment contained a B, which may stand for Balak, or for something completely different. The researchers say they can read one letter, B, which they are guessing may be filled out as Balak, even though the following letters are missing. Ronald Hendel, a professor of Hebrew Bible and Jewish studies at the University of California, Berkeley, who was not involved in the study, told Life Science, "If he is just a guess, it could be Bilbao or Balak, for all we know." At number 4, Pontius Pilate's Grand Avenue discovered. Pontius Pilate went down in biblical history as the Roman prefect who supervised the trial and crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Perhaps he would have been happier to be remembered for his public works. Archaeologists have now uncovered a 2,000-foot-long boulevard built by Pilate. The street would have taken 10,000 tons of limestones to build and likely connected the Pool of Siloam in Jerusalem to the Temple Mount, a holy place where ancient Jewish pilgrims went to worship. The existence of the street may indicate that Pontius Pilate wasn't quite as insensitive to his Jewish subjects as history has painted him. The archaeologists reported in Tel Aviv, Journal of the Institute of Archaeology of Tel Aviv University. It is no longer possible to view this first period of direct Roman governance in Judea as one exclusively characterized by self-interest and corruption, they wrote. At number 3, the secret of the Temple Scroll. The Dead Sea Scrolls are an archaeological miracle. Despite being nothing but parchment, this ancient text survived for 2,000 years in desert caves near the archaeological site of Qumran. This year, researchers discovered the secret to the preservation of one of the most intact scrolls, the Temple Scroll. This scroll, they found, is imbued with salty minerals that do not come from the cave where the scrolls was discovered, nor are the minerals seen on other scroll fragments. The Temple Scroll, they concluded, may have been deliberately preserved by a method that is different from what was used on other contemporaneous scrolls. The custom brew of salt may have helped keep the scroll in tip-top condition for thousands of years. At number 2, military paratroopers discovered a watchtower. In May 2019, paratroopers with the Israel Defense Forces discovered evidence of the fortification of their forefathers, a watchtower dating back to the 8th century BC. According to Harriet, the modern soldiers were taking part in the dig as part of a military preservation program. The watchtower measured 16 by 11.5 feet at its base, and its existing ruins stand at 6.5 feet high. It was likely a 2-story tower when it was built, according to archaeologists. Pottery at the site dates the tower to the reign of Hezekiah, who ruled Judah starting at around 715 AD. And finally, at number 1, a coded message in a Christian epic found. English poet Milton was known for sneaking hidden messages into his epic, Paradise Lost. Using the first letter of each line of poetry in this tale of Adam and Eve's temptation by Satan. He had already been known to spell out thematic words like Satan and Mars in some sections of the saga. This year, an undergraduate named Miranda Pfahl at Tufts University discovered a pair of these acrostics which had never been noticed before. In sections of the poem in which Adam and Eve debate what to do about Satan, Milton had spelled out fall and fall. The former spelled as possibly a reference to Satan's fall from heaven, and the latter is likely a reference to the double fall of humanity represented by Adam and Eve. What is your thought? Which of these discoveries is most likely of interest to you? Kindly let me know in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, like and share with friends and family on social media. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, enable notification for more insightful videos like this. And for more biblical archaeology stories, please click on this playlist here. Thank you very much for watching. See you in the next video. Peace.